Good morning. Looking at 1 Corinthians 13. Still, we read in verse 7, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Let's focus on what might be the most underrated aspect of love. Love bears all things. Doesn't mean you act like a bear. It means that you bear it in the sense of bearing a burden. You put up with it is the idea. In fact, here's the same word, and this comes from 1 Corinthians 9:12. It reads this way, if others have this right, Paul says, of support from you, shouldn't we have it all the more? But we did not use this right. On the contrary, we put up with anything rather than hinder the gospel of Christ. To put up with anything is the word used here for bear. Stege in the Greek. Bearing all things. You're putting up with it. See, an underrated part of love is that sometimes there's situations and there are people in those situations, and sometimes people just in general, that you are just going to willingly, happily, not gritting your teeth, but happily tolerate. And you're going to tolerate them. And toleration is its own demonstration of love. You bear with. Colossians 3:13. Actually, I'm going to go back to verse 12 in Colossians 3. Put on then as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. So you put on virtue, next exhortations. Verse 13, bearing with one another. And if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other as the Lord has forgiven you, so you must also must forgive. Guess what? If you don't put on virtue, you're not going to be able to tolerate. If you don't put on virtue, you're not going to be able to bear people's bad attitudes. You're not going to bear people's annoyances. You're not going to bear people's complaints. You're not going to bear people's grievances. But if you let love sit at the center, then you're going to operate in another's best interest. You're going to find that it's the glory of a man, Proverbs 19:11, to overlook a matter often. And you're just going to learn to tolerate different people, even sometimes difficult people, even people that just, it's not that they're doing something morally wrong, they just rub you the wrong way. And you're going to find that love in its selfless expression is sometimes just bearing with. Again, not gritting your teeth, but happily bearing with. Love bears all things. So that's situations, and I think we can throw people into that. Difficulties and challenges. So I want you just to think about, what is it right now you need to just happily bear? What is it that you just need to willingly move forward in with it on your back? Okay? And that's its own demonstration of love. So love people well. And sometimes that means just bearing with it. Bearing with it. May the Lord bless you today.